Hey everyone, this is OMG My Vintage. I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how you can leverage eBay very quickly when you're at an estate sale or a garage sale looking up items while you're there. So here are a couple tips that I've been using as I've needed to look at comps on eBay. So what I do for one is I leverage the lock filters or the lock option within the filters. So let me do a search for, let's say I'm looking at, I just posted a video about Sperry pickup that I did. So let's do Sperry 2i shoes. Okay. So obviously this is active. I always look at completed. So let's go to completed and sold. And you search. Okay, cool. Then what you do is you go back, scroll all the way to the bottom where it says customize, then click on or tap on lockable filters, and then boom. Okay, so that basically you see that padlock. Here's where you need to take that extra step. So what happens here is you're going to assume that if you do another search, it'll automatically go to completed and sold items, right? So let me do another search for different Sperry shoes. Okay. Now when you do the filter, it should automatically be locked, right? But it's not, even though in customize you clicked on lockable filters, but clearly it's not locked. The problem is when you click it, right, you need to click on the padlock again. So now it's locked. You see how it changed? Now it's locked. So now if you do another search for, let's just say, so another search. Now it defaults to that lockable. That extra step of hitting that padlock again, so it's actually locked, that's the key. I think that's what a lot of us miss. So that's the first one. The second thing is, while you're looking at solds, just make sure that if you have time, as I mentioned in my previous video, just make sure if you have time to also look at active, because some of the solds could be manipulated, and you just want to make sure that just because something sold for 100 doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be able to get that. So maybe there might be an active listing of 40 and that's more of a going rate. That's what happened to me recently when I purchased a Big Boss grill where I thought completed comps were 130, but when I looked at active, it's actually in the $50 range. So just make sure you do a little bit more due diligence if you can. Obviously, we don't always have time to do that. The other thing I do is I leverage the minus function or the parentheses function. So what I mean by that is, so now I'm going to look at Sperry 2i shoes. Again, I'm going to use this because I just put out a video about picking up these shoes, these new shoes for $5. So what I do is if I only want to look at used, I add a negative symbol, a minus symbol. So if I want to only look at new shoes, or I mean used pre-owned shoes, and I don't want the keyword new in there, then I just simply put minus new, and everything that is not minus or not new will show up. Now, if you want to look at only new shoes, or let's call it, maybe there's a combination of shoes and maybe parentheses, you could use parentheses shoe apostrophe s comma maybe you also want to include sandals and then close the parens, and you can do a search, and everything that matches these keywords will now show up. It's really helpful in the sports cards world because there are so many variations. So an example is Tom Brady autograph auto. That's a really popular one because there's different variations. So I want to look at Tom Brady let's just say 2000 Fleer. Okay. So now you see, okay, so these are what's sold, right? With the keyword auto. So what I do is I put keywords in here where if it matches all of these within the parentheses, then it will show up. So I put auto, autograph, autographs, sig, signature, and on, and then close it. And everything with those keywords, so if it says Tom Brady, so for example, that first one here, that will show up because now I put the word signature in the keyword. And then as you scroll, you'll see some of those. So note the BGS 6.5. So if I don't want any BGS graded, then I can say minus BGS. And now anything that's has the word BGS in it is no longer there. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to quickly just share some of these tips because I know sometimes we don't always have time when we're at a show or a garage sale, estate sale. And you quickly just need to look stuff up. And I think the number one thing for me is going to be the lockable feature, and just want to make sure that you guys know that you have to tap on the padlock once so that it's actually locked. So hopefully that's helpful. If I think of any more, I'll definitely put these tutorials out a little bit more, but that's those are the couple that I could think off the top.